I look at New Smyrna as my hometown, and I look at it as the surfing population's hometown, because it means so much to everybody that surfs here. The friendships and family and everything else.
It was very quiet, not many houses, a lot of like sand dunes on the other side of the road here. We created our own little golf courses here. We created our own forts, hand-lined fish behind the house here. I mean, it was a radical upcoming, you know. All in all, I mean, I wouldn't be who I am without growing up here in New Smyrna.
There wasn't a whole lot to do. There wasn't a whole lot of organized activities for the youth. If you lived on the beach side, your playground was the beach. We started riding mats, the Hodgman floats that we would get from the beach stand right at Flagler. And we would take them up to the beachside Gulf Station there, and we'd get them as hard as a rock. Then we would come back down to the beach and we could mat surf. Then we started seeing stuff on surfing and so forth. Well, I got my first board in October of '62. My dad bought it from the Daytona Beach Life Saving Corps. It rode pretty good, and that's how I got started surfing. We surfed almost every day. We ate, slept, and drank surfing. That was our deal. We were riding longboards, and this was before leashes, so if you lost your board, it would go in and hit somebody. The city didn't like that, obviously, because people were getting hurt. When you lose a longboard and it's going in sideways along with the wave, it can wipe out 2 or 3 people at one time. And boards back then were really heavy, 30 to 40 pounds. So they hurt. When they hit you, they hurt. So we had squad cars that would call us out of the water. So we finally went to the city commission, and we got 2 surfing areas between 14th and 16th Street in New Smyrna Beach. And they would put signs up on the beach, keeping bathers out, letting us surf there. And we could also surf north of Beachway Approach anytime. And then when the lifeguards went off at 5 o'clock, we could surf anywhere. Great times.
I was really actually inspired to actually get into filming to showcase our local talent here, because we never really got any recognition. You know, there were so many good surfers. The surfers that we looked up to, guys like Ron Hope and Joe Serbaugh. I wanted to see our surfers, like in my little group, get recognition. Guys like Gorkin. My brother was more of the rebel. The Geiselman boys started to kind of come into their own. Evan was young. He was, you know, touted as the golden boy. Eric was this rad, talented skater, surfer, and now they're all grown up.
I was lucky enough, I lived down pretty far on North Beach, so I got to walk from my house. So my brother was my chaperone most of the time. He's 5.5 years older than me, so I had to have a chaperone when I was walking down at like 9 or 10 or whatever. So it was either my brother and his friends or my dad, just kind of whoever. I had to wait on people. And then as I got older, I kind of started being able to make the walks by myself and do that kind of around like 13, 14, and had a buddy that I surfed with, or little Noah Schweitzer.
We're lucky, man. We've had a lot of really good surfers come out of New Smyrna Beach.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be a war zone down there. Like on a weekend, I mean, you got a couple hundred people out, you got a couple hundred sharks around. Yeah, I actually get surprised that there's not more collisions. You got foilers flying by your head. It's kind of a circus some days.
The sharks can bite you. But the worst one of all that I happened to be there was Panama Dance. And that morning when the waves were firing, all of us were out. Corey, Shay, Gorkin, my brother, all the local guys were out. And you could smell the blood from all the sharks eating the mullet. All these bites, dude, are just incidental. You just run into them and they're protecting themselves. But it's so interesting that they've all come close in here because there's so much bait. That's why they're there. There's no secret to it.
There's always been sharks. The difference back then is that you could get all of your body up on a board if you saw a shark and paddle with your hands. Today, these shortboarders are half underwater and their feet are dangling down. And back then, when we saw sharks, we would come in. I don't think they do today. They see a shark, no big deal. I guess it depends on how much you value your life.
They call it the zoo now, you know. It's always been the scene. There's always been people from all over, and don't get me wrong, I don't hate on that. I mean, if I lived somewhere else, I'd come here to surf, but it's one thing going somewhere to surf and appreciating it and respecting the locals, and then it's another thing to go to a place and then just like exploit it for what you want out of it and just act like, you know, there's not some rich history that you're walking into, you know. It's just make it whatever you want kind of thing. And that's just, I mean, I'm just talking about right at the inlet. Like the town in general, especially growing up off 44, off Glencoe, you know, it's like I was gone for 4 years, came back, there's like 4 car dealerships and like 5 gas stations all up and down the road, which is like, I guess that's inevitable nowadays everywhere that's kind of happening, but it's like, you never think it's gonna happen to your town until it's happening, you know, like.
End of the day, that's everywhere. It's a bummer. It's either you can fight it for as long as you can, but it's inevitable. Money talks, and it's unfortunate. That's just the bottom line for it. But yeah, New Smyrna's home. I still think we have a core group of people in town that it's always going to be that authentic feel.
Dealing with the growth of the town is some days are harder than others. I feel definitely a responsibility in preserving this town because it's so fragile. It's definitely a special little area. I have friends from all over the world come and stay at my house and they fall in love with it every time. So it's like, it's just, you can feel like it could tip. It could tip over, and which it might one day. But then, I mean, restaurants are doing well, so it's like, you know. I basically grew up at Clancy's. My mom worked there for 35 years. So it was like, yeah, every day after school, I was sitting there waiting to go down to the inlet.
Other than working at Clancy's, again, another local joint owned by the homies, like I've always worked at Red Dog since I was 15. Even when I would move and go away, I'd come back, you know. So I've seen its own progression and then how it's been doing stuff in the surf community, and we're always doing cool events where we try to get everybody together, and like people want that. People want to hang out. People want to hear what's going on in the surf scene more than just like, you know, what you see on the interwebs or whatever. It's like what's going on right here.
Well, it says surfing became mainstream. You know, the crowds increased. The popularity of the break of New Smyrna, always having waves, everybody gravitated here. But now you see those crowds. So there's not the structured regulation that there used to be. I remember when I was young, you didn't mess with the older guys. You didn't take off in front of them. You stayed away from them. It's kind of more of a free-for-all situation now.
Well, back then it was cutthroat. There was no cell phones or people recording something or tattletaling or, dude, if you messed around, you got your fucking fins broke out, or you got slapped in the face, or you got told to go down to Geeks Peak. And that's how it was.
You know, if we got out of line with the, like, Grom torture, Grom beatings, those were definitely available.
Nowadays, that's not even thought of.
When I was young, if you didn't have respect, you weren't gonna have like a career in it, you know? Like surf etiquette is everything, and the inlet taught me so much with my older brother and his friends, looking up to them and sitting on the inside, not trying to get the best waves, watching them more than surfing in a sense.
I wake up in the morning, feel alive as can be. I go out of the blocks and watch the dogs play in the street. It ain't in me. Wake up every day, I'm free. used to dance with you in my dreams. Didn't make a change in me, he says what she said. So I dyed my head against the colors in my head. Ain't it neat?
The New Smyrna surf scene, it's pretty cool, you know. You got a lot of good surfers that came from here, from older to younger. You know, great spot to learn. Gives you every little thing you can basically need to learn.
It's neat to see the Groms grow up now here. I mean, they've got really good examples by looking at really good surfers with really good attitudes. And those are the things to me that are just so important that sometimes get lost in the up and coming, you know, Groms. Is I really hope that they really look to those guys and see that, you know, it's okay to give a wave away. It's okay, you know, to not be focused to the point of, I don't know, being rude.
You got to look at educating the youth, you know? I think if the kids understand how to respect others around here, following your dreams, you know, not being afraid to follow your dreams and go for it, right? That's like the trophy, dude. That's the reward. To see your kids thrive and giving them your own personal hard knock experience is key, dude.
You find your fun, and you've learned all of that since you were growing up with that. You learn a lot of stuff, going offshore, deep sea fishing, or the backwater fishing, catch trout, redfish. It's enjoyable.
Just having one of the best fisheries right in my backyard, and that's something that's a very big passion of mine.
I think it's some of the best fishing in the world, in my opinion, and it's definitely one of the best waves on the East Coast. And you just gotta kind of go outside and see it. Like, it's a beautiful town.
There's not many surf towns left in Florida, if any, really. I think New Smyrna is a staple for a surf town. You know, it's like, it's the hub on the East Coast to come surf. I really think everything goes to the beach here. We have a beautiful beach, and we have a beautiful, just great people here, and a good core value hometown.
Alright, folks, the beach is now closed. All vehicles, we need to get all the vehicles off the beach.
Sun is sinking lower.
I understand, you know, everyone wants to live here. It's a beautiful place. It's like, can't fight it. Not gonna do you any good.